Welcome, my family. My name is Carrie, and I'm welcoming you to the Mediterranean Parton's Heritage Homestead. We are a Mediterranean homestead who are learning to mill our own flour, eat healthier meals that are generated basically from the Mediterranean. We are living a healthier lifestyle on this homestead because we know what works for us. We took all the convenience of fast food and the convenience from the grocery store, and we have technically left all that behind. To the best of our ability, we tried to do for ourselves. And if you will stay with me, you will find out more about us in this homestead, and we've got some fun things to do today. Okay, family, so what is unscheduled today? Well, first of all, as I started saying in the beginning, we are learning to eat much healthier. And at this point, I can't go to the Mediterranean. So this homestead is bringing the Mediterranean to us. We want what they have. And not the fact of envy, but the fact of a healthier lifestyle. I knew that God led me in the right direction. And I knew that following him was going to be the best thing I ever did. How do I know this? Because when I started following the fact of eating much healthier the Mediterranean way, the inflammation in our body disappeared. The energy in us boosted immensely. Our health started improving in our medical records. And recently, we fell into the trap that we didn't have time. So what did we do? Sadly, we started doing what we used to do in our past. We ate out. We went and got convenience. We started back into processing, and here's what happened. We gained our weight, we lost our energy, and we have inflammation going out of style in our bodies. It is time we go back to what we know, where we were led best, and that was a healthier lifestyle of the Mediterranean, and we're not going back. So, welcome to our Mediterranean homestead. Today we are also, I also am going back in time, basically doing what I know quality instead of paying for garbage and throwing things away. I have been starting on Fridays crocheting, and I am teaching different steps. Well, today I will be doing that and basically teaching you simple steps and abbreviation to a pattern, and showing you another one to practice. Although we are not going to make nothing out of it, you're welcome to if you want to, but I'm going to teach you about double crocheting. However, there's going to be a bonus to this video because I have some other things I'm working on. Number one, be right back and show you. Now, what can I absolutely be into now? A bottle of dry white wine and a thing of mustard seed. And I am fixing to go ahead and start day one of making my own Dijon mustard. I will be canning this tomorrow, but I got to start the process today. So I'm going to take you with me on that because I got 2 jars left of Dijon. I am not buying it from the store, y'all, because this one tastes so much better. And then I am also going to prepare our meal. I didn't get to do one yesterday, so I am actually going to be adding our kitchen meal into this video, and I am actually going again to Turkey, and we're going to have a chicken meal called pomegranate and sumac chicken. I'm going to teach you how to make this one. Also, we're going to Spain on a fork, and we are going to take our beautiful canned butter beans and turn them into a Spanish dish as a side with the side salad. So, if you're ready to go with me, let's get started. Okay, my family, so I have to marinate my chicken at least for 3 hours. This is going to be perfect because hubby's at work. This gives me plenty of time, at least 3 hours or so, to put in my refrigerator, set it aside, and I can do the rest of the things that I need to do with you today. So we're going to go ahead and start with our marinade. Now I'm only doing half of this recipe as it requires 8 large skin-on, bone-in chicken thighs. Personally, I only have 3, so I'm going to do half the recipe. But I'm going to give you the full recipe, as this is coming from the cookbook, to which I will have on this homestead, because this is amazing. Now I will tell you, this recipe generates from turkey, and I also learned something pretty cool. Aleppo pepper, my absolute favorite Mediterranean pepper. I did not know this until today, that this pepper in Turkey is where it generates from, and its name is, and I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but it's going to be as close as I can pronounce it, but it's Pul Biber or Pul Biber, Pulbiber. It is Aleppo pepper, the same pepper that I am growing outdoors in 3 plants. So this pepper originates from Turkey. This recipe is coming from Turkey. I enjoy bringing the Mediterranean to my kitchen because I know this is going to burst with flavor, along with having molasses, pomegranate molasses I made myself. This is so cool, y'all. So with that, we're going to start with our marinade because this has got to sit for a few hours in the refrigerator. So the marinade is 3 tablespoons of pomegranate molasses. Oh, this smells so good. And when it runs out, I will definitely get some more and make it. So remember, I'm just doing half of this recipe, but I could easily do the whole thing if I wanted to for the sauce in my chicken. I'm just saying, I know the flavors that are going to come from this, and it's going to pop. Okay, so there is my molasses. The next ingredient, I am going to use 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Instead of opening up a can, I'm going to use this one here. Okay, and now I need a half a teaspoon of ground allspice, I need 2 teaspoons of Pul Biber or my Aleppo pepper, we love this stuff on everything. It has become our new cayenne, basically. It's just got a heat that doesn't last long, but the flavor just is amazing. And I need a teaspoon of sumac. Let's see, I gotta get my sumac here. Here we go. Need a teaspoon of that. Sumac is that extra, it's like a lemon enhancer, basically. I need a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin. And 2 fat cloves of garlic, and it's just going to be crushed. So I'm going to mix this up right quick. Oh my goodness. Yeah, look at the coloring to this. It's amazing. And it smells so good. Now, I have not added my garlic in here yet, so we're going to do that. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is take my garlic and I'm going to mince it inside here. And then we're going to mix it all together right there. Oh, so no wonder this thing was beautifully fat. It's got more than one in it. Oh, there we go. Okay, well, the skin on this one is different because it all grew together. So I'm going to go ahead and get the skin off of this and we'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so now I am just going to, I'm actually crushing this right inside here, which I'm mincing it basically. Okay, get my handy dandy cleaner from my garlic because I want all of this. Now I'm going to mix it up and we are going to start marinating our beautiful chicken thighs. Alright, so we're going to put all this away and then we're going to start marinating. Okay, y'all, so now to the down and dirty, get your hands, well, get my glovey hands dirty. So now what we're going to do is we're going to massage all of this marinade into our chicken. We're going to make a mess. I want to get this under the skin and everywhere that I possibly can. And I want to get all of this marinade as much as I can of it. Because I don't want to waste any of this flavor. Now I will be lifting up the skins, putting this under the skin and everything else. Because I want this seriously coated in all of its flavor. So, in my chicken, I pop my skin, take some of my marinade and go inside of it. Now I'm going to also take it and go on the outside of it. And we're just going to coat all of this chicken very, very well with our seasoning. On each one, I'm going to do the same thing to this one. I'm going up under the skin because under that skin is meat and we need to season that meat. So again, all over it, all up inside of it. And then the same with this very last piece. Again, I'm going to go up under it. Take some of my seasoning, go up inside of my meat. Oh, and there's plenty enough to work with here. Plenty enough to season this chicken. I have learned, and I never knew this before, honestly, before I started doing the Mediterranean cooking, I've learned a lot about seasoning my food. And before, when it came to marinating my chicken and all, honestly, I just concentrated more on the outside. I didn't know that it really mattered to go up underneath that skin. But trust me when I say it does matter. So go up underneath that skin, y'all, if you're going to keep it. Because it will penetrate into that meat. Without it, it really doesn't get it. I used to think it did, but it doesn't. And I always wondered, why is that flavor just on the outside? Because I didn't spend enough time to, or even learn, actually, that I have to go underneath that skin too and get that meat. So, yes, I'm scraping off the remnants of my marinade because we want this fully incorporated. Alright, y'all. So now, I'm going to take and clean my hands off. Once I do, I will be right back. Okay, so now comes the point of covering it. And then we're just going to refrigerate this. It's just pretty much a fix it up. Let's see if I got something smaller. Yes, I do. We'll see if this one will fit. If not, then I just got bigger. Yeah, this one might work. Yes. So I'm going to take my, you remember my honey, or my wax lids or covers. I'm just going to take my wax cover up my bowl, and now I'm going to sit this in the refrigerator for at least no less than 3 hours. So this is going to leave me free to be able to do what I need to do, because when it comes to cooking, it's going to take no time to actually cook this. So, on to our next project. Yeah, I had to share something with you too. I was listening to an amazing speaker who's actually a country singer. His name is Rory Feek, and he hit home with me as well. I don't know what journey I'm on, but it's very, very tight. And there were 3 key aspects that he hit home with me, and we are going to apply it here on the homestead. And it talks about if you stick it out, it's going to turn into something incredible. And that reminisced with me. See, I've been doing this for going on almost 2 years. And just like we did when we bought this house, honestly, y'all, and this made sense. Let's just put it this way. When you go to believe in something you cannot see ahead of you, but you got to trust God when you take that leap of faith. We did that when we bought this place. Even in the midst that I sat down and said, Lord, what have we just done? And it turned out to be incredible. I did the same thing with this YouTube channel, this homestead, to where we grew such an amazing family. And so I'm leaping out in faith, but I'm going to trust God to lead me all the way. And I'm going to step out of his side. We're just going to continue to do what we do. Because in the end, I am learning to overcome my fears. I've always been afraid to do everything, including something like this. You would never see me doing that, which kept me from doing anything that God would have me to do. So, just because I don't know, let's see, how does this go? And I don't want to mess this up. Just because you don't know what you're doing, do I know what I'm doing? Absolutely not. But it doesn't give me no reason to not do it. And so this is the reason why I share what I know. I don't know everything. And do I know if it's correct? I just know it's working. And I know what I want to be able to share. This homestead, it has its ups and its downs. It never is the same thing twice. Our meals, we are finding, are absolutely incredible. And we do know that I am stepping out in faith, leaving a world that I have always known and stepping into a world I haven't experienced. But I'm getting to, because we're bringing it here to the homestead. Hence the reason we're doing Mediterranean. So Rory is an amazing guest speaker, but he also spoke to my heart. And I believe that he was used at this moment when it was sent to me. I believe it was my message just to keep on pressing on. We're moving forward, y'all. So our next one we're doing is our Dijon mustard. We got to prepare it because it takes 24 to 48 hours to marinate. Perfect before we do our crocheting. So let's get started. Okay, y'all, so hubby is home from work, but we're going to go ahead and proceed to do what we were doing. I am going to be working out of the all-new ball book, Canning and Preserving. It has the recipe for Dijon mustard on page 190, right here at the top. Now, this recipe makes approximately 6 4-ounce jars of Dijon mustard. So here's what we need. We need 2 onions chopped. I need 2 cups of Pignat, I don't know how to say this, y'all, Grigio, but that's this stuff right here. I need 2 cups of this. There's 1 and 2. Now this is a dry white wine, so if you don't use this name, that's fine. You just want a dry white wine. There's 2 cups of our wine. Now I need 1 cup of white wine vinegar. Please make sure that your white wine vinegar is 5% acidic. That is vitally important. Mine is, and so we're going to use it. And I need to take, well, this center, it's not going to come out. So I need 1 cup of white wine vinegar. So I'm going to end up opening up my other bottle because this one was almost empty and I knew it would. But I don't like opening up something new without using the old first. Alright, now there's our 1 cup of vinegar. I need a teaspoon of salt. Now I am actually going to pause for a minute and get canning salt because this pertains to canning, and that's the only type I use when it comes to anything. I could use my Himalayan, but I'm honestly going to use my canning salt. So let me go get some of that and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so we got our canning salt and I need 1 teaspoon. This is a ½ teaspoon, so I'm adding 2 to that. I have 6 cloves of chopped, coarsely chopped garlic we're going to add to this. We need about 4 peppercorns. Some people add a little more for the spice, but it depends on the size. I'm going to probably add just a little more to mine. About 6 in mine because mine are really small. So I'm going to add about 6 of those. And I have 1 sprig of rosemary. Now this is from my garden. I am going to kind of crush it a little bit just to release some of the scent in here because this is fresh. And then I'm just going to, well, I'm going to cut it in half and pop it in here. If you do not have fresh like I have, you can absolutely use 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried rosemary in yours. And I need 1, let's see, hold on a second. Now I need to take this mixture and I need to bring it to a boil. And we're going to, let's see, it says here, combine the first 7 ingredients, which we did, in a large stainless steel or enamel saucepan. Bring it to a boil over high heat. Reduce and simmer uncovered for 15 to 20 minutes or until the onions are soft, stirring occasionally. And from there, we will be straining all of this, just keeping the liquid. So I'm going to, at this point, bring this up to a boil. Then I'm going to simmer it for 15 to 20 minutes, watching my onions until they are soft and tender. Okay, my family, so now we are at a boiling, so I'm going to turn this down to simmer and set my timer, first of all, for 15 minutes. If I have to, I'll do another 5. Occasionally, I am going to stir this, but word of warning, do not stand over the pot because between the wine and the vinegar, it will take your breath away. Do not ask me how I know about that. So, I'm going to let this sit here for just a few minutes, and occasionally I'm going to stir it, but I'm going to let it cook until these onions are translucent, and until then, we'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so it's been 15 minutes, and I'm looking at my onions. They're supposed to be about super soft, and I'm not quite sure they're actually at that point. They are a bit translucent, but I might want to leave them just another 5 minutes longer. So, yeah, they still are not super soft for me. So, I'm going to leave them another 5 minutes, and at that point, this should be good. That will place us at 20 minutes. So, we're going to let this simmer for 5 more minutes, and we will be back to do our next step. Okay, y'all, so heat's getting turned off. Our onions are translucent and soft. Now we are going to get a container, stainless steel bowl, and we are going to strain this. So let me get it set up and we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, y'all, so now we're going to strain. We want just the liquid part, so we're going to strain out all of this goodness basically, and unfortunately it is nothing but waste at this point. So you can compost it or trash, whatever you want to do. But I'm also going to squeeze as much of the liquid out of this as possible. So now that I've got it, I want to go ahead and squeeze out all the juice that I can out of this mix, especially with all the flavors. Now there is one more thing I'm probably going to do, most people won't, and to be able to get the most of everything, I'm going to go the extra mile basically, and I am going to run this through a cheesecloth or squeeze it at that point. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. Not a cheesecloth, but a tea towel basically. And so I'm going to put this aside for just a minute. I'm going to take my ingredients inside of this towel, because there's a lot of juice in here, believe it or not. And I'm going to gather it up. We're going to squeeze the rest of this out of here. I'm going to get my gloves because it'll keep me from burning my fingers, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. You don't have to do this. This is something I'm doing. Okay, y'all. So I believe that if I'm going to spend the time to do this, I'm going to spend the time to get everything out of this I can. You see all that liquid still in there? Let's see if we can get, let me see if I can get you closer. Now this is hot, so you could wait afterwards. But do you see that? That would be stuff that I would be throwing basically away, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to take this chance for just a little bit here, and I'm going to squeeze about all of this that I can actually get out of it. So once I get this done, we'll be back and I'll take you to the next level. Okay, y'all, so here is what's left. See that big old bundle right there? So I squeezed everything that I can out of it, and I got, well, you see this much here. And then I had about another quarter cup before that. So altogether, well, not a quarter cup, about half of that. So it's been approximately 1/8 cup still of liquid that I ended up getting out of this. So it didn't get wasted. Now I'll just discard the rest of that and move on to the next ingredients. So I'm going to get this cleaned up and be right back. Okay, so the final ingredients that we're going to use for today is 1 cup of mustard seed. And yes, do I like mustard? Yep, I sure do. So I have 1 cup of yellow mustard seed. And then I need 1/3 cup of ground mustard. And then we're going to mix this all together. Now this ground mustard can tend to clump, so you just want to mix it up really good. Make sure you can get this as best as possible incorporated into this mix. Because at this point, this is all you're going to do. You're going to then let this cool off, cover it, and this is going to sit anywhere from 24 to 48 hours at the most. No longer than 48 hours, y'all. And this is where the fermentation and the beautiful Dijon begins. Right here. With all that beautiful brine. Then you're going to add your mustard. And it's going to sit and do its thing to make your Dijon. This is the part I love. Okay, so I've got this all incorporated. Y'all, it's already starting to smell like it. So, that's it. I am going to let this cool off. I'm going to cover it, leave it on my counter, and I will get to it tomorrow sometime. And when I do, I will go ahead and do the video on the finishing process of this all the way up to canning it for you. So we're going to move on to our crocheting now, because we got our multitasking important things I had to get done today. I got this finished. These are the ones you can pretty much fix it up and set it aside so that we can go do our Crochet Friday. So let's go do that. Okay, y'all, so I have so far taught you a couple stitches. One was the single stitch, and that's what you did with your pot holders. And then I did the half double crochet last time for your canning mats. I am currently working on my canning mat. It's been so busy in the homestead. To be honest with you, this is as far as I got, y'all. So what I'm going to do, the next one I'm going to show you is a double crochet. But I'm going to use it on my pattern here, and I can always take it apart. So I'm already started on this, so I'm going to show you what it is. I am going to ask you to go ahead and get a notebook, because I'm going to give you the abbreviations and what it means for each one, so you can start reading patterns. So the basic stitches, and that's all we're doing right now, is just the basic. We have ST, which stands for stitch. We have, I think it's SLST, that's slip stitch. And I will have to show you each one. I'm going to show you what they mean and how to do this. But right now, you're just going to go ahead and write this down, because these are going to be your notes later. HDC. H is in Harry, D is in dog, C is in carry, equals half double stitch, or half double crochet. So that's the one that we did on this one for your canning mat. Then there is DC, that is double crochet. That's what I'm going to show you today. The single stitch, I can't remember exactly how they do that one. I think it's S stitch, or I'm going to have to look at it again. But most of the time they'll say single stitch. Another one is CH. C is in Charlie, H is in Harry. That is chain. These things are too big for my mouth. It's chain. So that's the one that you started out before you started doing this. Let's see, there is, single stitch, slip stitch, half double crochet, crochet, and I think that's the basic, y'all. And then your stitch and your chain. So what I'm going to do right now, this is going to be simple. This is going to be a project that not turning into anything. What you're going to do actually is practice. This is a practice run. We're not making anything. If you want to make something, then you can do something out of it. So I'm going to set you up and get you ready. Okay, y'all, so I am going to try to do this from this angle and show you how to do a double crochet. So what we do, just like the half double crochet, is you see those 3 stitches, you're going to yarn over. In other words, yarn over means just take your hook up under that string. So that's a yarn over. You're going to go into your stitch. You're going to pull through another loop. So now you should have your 3 just like this. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. That is a double crochet. I'm going to see if we can do this again. We're going to yarn over, go into our stitch, yarn over, pull through. We have 3 stitches. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's your double crochet. We'll do this one more time. Yarn over into your stitch, yarn over, pull through. You have 3 on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's how you do a double crochet. Okay, y'all, so that's it. What I'm going to ask you to do, you got this weekend or whatever, or whenever you have time, just get a piece of material, do your chain stitch, make it as long as you want, and then remember, go back to second chain from your hook, like I told you in the beginning. If you are lost, go back to our other videos on Crochet Friday. Make your chain and start double crocheting through this. Now, you're not doing no back loops or nothing like that. You're just doing straight stitching, just like I showed you. Get the hang of a double crochet. Every one that I am teaching you are basic. If you can get the basics, you can make anything. So don't get frustrated easy either. Look, the one thing I learned when it came to crocheting, it's like me and knitting. I'm going to go back to knitting and I'm going to conquer it. It can be frustrating, but please don't give up, because it is actually rewarding to be able to do this. The products that you can make to put in your home, from a really nice blanket to your own towels, wash rags, mats, hot plates, or hot pads, pot holders, all of these things are beneficial in your home. You can't buy a better quality. This will last you forever. It is good to have this under your belt, just like sewing. When I grew up, I had home economics, and it's really sad that all that was removed from school today. These kids don't even have a prayer of a chance to know what goodness was, to learn how to cook or learn how to sew or crochet or any of this. We, as a generation, we're blessed more than we will ever know. And to have something like this to be able to do, this to me is a gift that we can keep passing on from generation to generation. I believe everybody needs to learn. So I will go and do my best. I wish, honestly, I could sit with you all one-on-one as a group in front of each other live, because I would be able to show you a whole lot better than what I can on this camera. So I am doing my best. If you're not able to see what I'm doing, I will encourage you to look at other YouTubers. Go looking under that specific stitch that I'm telling you about, like this week is double crochet, and learn. Don't get frustrated. Please, I'm encouraging you. Keep at it. Don't let it get you. If you have to put it down, but go right back at it. I will be learning how to knit, I guarantee you. So, because this crocheting, I got this under my belt, y'all. And I know a lot of people have a hard time with it, and many of you have told me about it. And some can knit and can't crochet. Well, I'm the person that can crochet, but I can't knit, so I get it too. But I don't want to be handicapped. I want to be able to know all of it, because personally, I think I can get something better knitted or crocheted than I can buy at the grocery store. So I'm determined. And my sewing machine, we're going to be digging that out sooner or later too, because I think we should be learning to do all this stuff. Cut the cost of feeding corporation and be able to do something for ourselves that will last us a whole lot longer, better quality, and honestly, it gives us something to be able to put our talents to use. So, at this point, I could continue with our meal, but this is actually Crochet Friday, and I had to multitask a few things before I could get to where we're at. I knew this was going to be a shorter video, so I hope that's okay with you. I will go ahead, though, because I did start that chicken, and I believe it's going to be amazing. I did a recipe already for the Spanish butter beans, so you can look for that one, or I'll try to link it. But I will put the recipe and a picture of our chicken into the community section of this channel, and that way you have it on hand. I'm not just going to leave you in the dark since how we went and did this. I will go ahead probably tomorrow and finish off the Dijon mustard, so you have a chance to have that as well. And we'll see what else we can get into. I do have something I want to introduce to you. I think it's going to be a good thing, and I'm making wiser decisions, and I will get into that on the next video. But until next time, this is Carrie. I hope you like going back in time, going back into the heritage where things were good and we had talents that we used in mighty ways. I hope you enjoy going into the Mediterranean, because that's what this homestead's about, and to live healthier as we do this. So, until next time, I love you all, and I will see you again really soon. Good night. Much love and hugs.